You're listening to the Michael Baisden Show podcast.
Now I'm going to get some love out of this topic today. Ladies and gentlemen, the topic we've all been waiting for, my favorite topic in the world, the thing that I've been talking about my whole career.
Oh, yeah.
Being happily married.
Your whole career you've been talking
My
about
whole
this?
career I've been talking about being happily married.
What happened?
Shout out to all the
Pimps
happily
in the
married
pulpit.
folks out there, ladies and gentlemen. Don't listen to these people. They have no idea what they're talking about.
You talk about pimps in the pulpit.
I do not talk about pimps in the pulpit. I want to talk about happily married
Are
people.
you talking about happily single? Because I know we've done that.
Tanisha, I want to talk about your
What
wonderful
about
marriage.
Let's
stupid
talk about
sloppy cheaters?
Okay, George.
that book?
Okay, Dominique.
Sorry.
Okay, let me explain how this works.
What about F monogamy?
Okay,
Yep. That's about right.
we're talking today about happily married couples. I want to send some love out to Tanisha and her husband who's been together for
Almost 17 years
George
married.
Wilborn, who was married for
17 years.
and Dominic, who was married for
17 years.
Are you serious?
And you were married for?
Yo.
You were married
17
for?
months.
Ladies and gentlemen,
F marriage.
I was married for 5 years, actually.
Okay.
And let me just say this.
Oh, yeah.
I had a great marriage. I had a great wife, and I have nothing negative to say about marriage.
I'm scared
And you
right
stuck
now.
it out so long.
Wait,
George.
I'm scared right now because both of them said 17 years. So our Kenny and I need to think about
Where are
17. We're going on 17, and they
Oh,
just
my
said
goodness.
17. So I'm like, is that the number?
Let's say
We
this.
should be
Enjoy the
concerned?
16 you had, Tanisha.
Let's say this, everybody listening to the
17-year
show.
itch.
Let's get this in. Today we're talking about being happily married. I want to send some love out to everybody out there who's gone through the adversity, who's growing together, whose partner has made them better. We're going to the phone calls right now to talk positively
Yes.
about the importance of being together in a relationship, whether you're married or not. Let's go to the phone lines. I got Michelle on the line. Michelle, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Talk to me about the importance of marriage.
I think it's very, very important, and I also think that we need to get away from the ideal of marriage, it being a certain way, because there's always like secrets and dysfunction, and we need to like work through things. My parents were married for over 40 years, almost 50 years. There were inside babies, there were outside babies, but they stayed together. They stayed together until death do us part.
And
I'm
so,
not saying it was right, everything, but, you know, we need to really, like, just, it is very important for us to stick together.
I will
no
agree with
matter
that.
what.
Yeah, I will agree with that. You got to admit, Dominique, there's a lot of quit at the first sign of trouble out here nowadays.
Yeah, we give up too easily. And I love what Michelle said about, being realistic, not being, a bummer trip, but being realistic. Do you think, Michelle, that we kind of set ourselves up for failure with these fairy tale expectations?
Very much so, because, life has its ups and downs, and your vow is not to that other person. Your vow is to God to walk through this life with that other person, regardless of what happens. And you need to be true to that or leave it alone.
What's up, Orlando?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
So, Orlando, question. What do you think as far as black love? Do we see enough of it? And what should we do to make sure that our kids are seeing marriages for black people in a positive way?
Well, I think, with black love, a lot of these young kids nowadays, they just running around, handing out the cookies to everybody. The men, the young kids disrespecting the young girls. I mean, I done seen it all. So I used to live in New York City. I had to leave the city because I've raised three beautiful young girls, and I left New York City and moved down south a little bit just to give them a better look at life, period, And me and my wife, we've been together for 21 years. We've been married for 18. And
Congrats.
I'm only 44 years old. 44 years old.
Young married dude.
We still got a lot to go,
Hey, Orlando, what are you teaching your girls about black love? How, as a dad, are you setting them up for success?
Well, right now I got a daughter who's in the University of Longwood. She's doing very great. She got one more year. I got a younger daughter who's 17. I don't really teach. I teach them about black love and how it's important to, make sure that you're being respected by a man just the same way I respected your mom. Don't let nobody put their hands on you, and don't let nobody down you. I raised them both to make sure that, I raised them all three of them to make sure that they have their own money and they can independent, and respect themselves as much as their husbands.
And that's
also
the
when they
answer.
get older.
See, that's the answer right there. The answer is he's the example.
Yes.
And so you don't have to always tell them. Sometimes they're watching it. That's the best way to learn is through observation. Orlando, thanks for calling, man. And don't worry, we won't encourage them to give up the cookies on the Michael Baisden show, man. Went old school on me, dude. You went old school on me, Orlando. Thanks for calling, partner.
All right, man.
Yes, I am considering marriage. I wanted to let everyone know.
What?
Thank you all for calling
Wait,
to the Michael Baisden
Is
show.
today
Playing.
April's 1st? Is
Yeah.
it April Fool's Day? What's going on? We only in.
What
You
is
play
going
too
on?
much, Michael. You
What's
play too
going
much.
on with the hate in this? Susie, do you see what I have to deal with in the studio? I tell them.
I'm listening. I tell you,
What's up, Susie?
listen, I married late in life. I was 58 years old. I've only been married 4 years. I thought living the single life was living the life, but married life tops it off. There's that sense of responsibility, that respect for each other, and no matter what, if you put your mate in front of you, forget about yourself and put your mate first,
How about that?
it all works out. It
Wow.
all works out.
So-
It's a beautiful thing. I love it.
Well, tell me why you love it. What do you love about it? Be specific. Talk to me.
I love the commitment. I mean, there are days when you're up, there are days when you're down, and you help each other, through. I don't know, when my husband comes home, I'm not sure the day that until we talk about what has happened with him that day. And I do what I can to enhance his day. Whatever I do, even if I might have a problem or a situation that's going on with myself, I forget about me. And I put my focus on him, making sure he's happy when he comes home, that his meal is ready, that he has a smile on his face. Even though he might have had a tough day, or I might have had a tough day, I'm going to make sure his day ends up
I
with
want
a smile.
Susie.
Hey.
I want Susie.
She's
I'm
taken.
going to make
But-
sure his day ends with a smile.
She
And
is
he
happy.
does the same for me, though. He does the same for me.
I was going to say it's mutual. I'm sure it's not one-sided where you're
mutual.
catering to his
It's
needs. He's
mutual.
catering to
Susie
you,
ain't
right?
trying to hear none of y'all. Susie trying to tell y'all how happy she is about being married. She's not trying to hear none of us.
I'm happy she's happy.
It's working for me. I thought I was living the life when I was no comparison.
Susie, thank
No
you so much for
comparison.
calling. That enthusiasm, man, is contagious. So I said, look, marriage is great. I'm thinking about marriage. Okay, I'm
That's
not.
a lie.
Okay.
I told you.
Wait. He
That's
said,
not a lie. That's a bald face lie.
but he's
Remember
thinking,
those?
he's thinking about the subject of marriage, not necessarily contemplating
You all
getting
are
married.
making me choke. Stop. I can't focus. On the phone line with us right now, we're talking about marriage. We're promoting marriage. We're promoting being happily married. We talk about being happily single all the time on the show. Oh, my God, I'm about to choke, Steve. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, doing good, Mike and crew. George, how's everybody?
What's up?
Great.
Talk to me about being happily married, partner.
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey. I married a Southern Belle 33 years ago. Married the best woman in the world.
Word.
33.
I've never been happier. All my friends go. She eats lunch with me. We go to work together. We eat lunch together. We go to dinner. Everywhere you go, you see me. You see her. We have a Corvette.
Oh,
We
that's
always
so
in the bed.
sweet. I love that.
We dated from the time we got married until the time we have two beautiful sons. They both are both of them are college graduates.
How about that?
And now we're home alone. We call it Adam and Eve because we can walk around any way we want to walk around.
Hey, do
Oh,
you,
that's right.
boo-boo, do
That's my
you.
deal. Hey, Steve, it's really interesting, man, to hear you talk about how you all have, and let me use this expression, grown a family together, grown a life together, and have grown together. That's a big deal. Talk to me about that.
Yes, we kept it pretty simple. I take care of everything on the outside. My wife don't know how to pump gas. My wife don't wash cars. She don't touch
heard
nothing on the
that.
outside. I take out the trash, and I don't touch nothing on the inside. I don't cook. I don't iron my clothes. She takes care of all that, and it works great for us. I don't know why people don't do the old-fashioned thing.
Well, you got to
Works
do what
great
works
for
for you. I think the most important thing, and I'll just put this in as someone who was happily married, that, you have to customize your marriage. I think one of
Yes.
the biggest mistakes we ever make is trying to be married the way somebody else is married. and that's the biggest recipe for disaster.
So, Steve, I want to say what y'all got working about her doing everything in the house. My husband better not be listening, because that's not how we customize our marriage.
Yeah, I bet you want to do the Adam and Eve thing, though, don't you?
Yeah, we do that already. What you talking about? Hey, it has to be an apple.
Steve, thank you so much for calling.
23 years, this woman is still beautiful. And we go places, people say, "Oh, she's fine." And 33 years, bro, and she's fine as the days long.
All right, let me get back to my Adam and Eve. What did you say about the apple,
I
Tanisha?
said, just pass me an apple. And
Get
call
back
me
to-
Eve, bro.
That's how we got in the trouble we're in now.
Okay, I'm still trying to find out what Tanisha and George were talking about off the air about apples and nudity and what's going on here.
That's
What-
right. You're
what are we
not
talking
really
about?
familiar with the Bible, huh?
Well,
You
I'm
look-
not. Oh!
Yeah, Adam and Eve, they were a couple that kind of started the world.
I know who Adam George. Oh wow, I know who Adam and Eve is, dude. We're talking about marriage. See, Dominique. So let me explain what's happening. Tanisha and George are the dark side. Okay.
Oh, why are we the dark
Wow.
side?
Just listen. They're the dark side. We're the light, okay?
Okay.
So you have to stay on
Yeah.
my side, Dominique.
I'm
Now,
over here
Dominique,
with you. I'm over here with you, Michael.
Thank
No,
you,
you over there by yourself,
Dominique.
because he ain't no
Dominique.
light side.
Dominique, now if you believe
Yes,
that, you go
George.
on over there to the light side if you want to. Okay?
I stay in the light, George. We just want you to be happy, Michael. We don't want you to jump into a marriage if that's not what's going to make you happy. But I love the fact that we're promoting happy marriage and black love.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's so important. You know, we talk about being happily single on the show all the time, and I was thinking, particularly after seeing all these, great movies coming out. The Black Panther movie was an
So did
inspiration.
that do something for you?
Well, it's an
It sounds
opportunity.
like it did.
It's an opportunity. Whenever you see a film like that, you can talk about the impact on the children. You can talk about the impact on the industry, how important it is for directors to get jobs, but also the family. I mean, that's really what it was
Yes.
about. It was about the culture and the family sticking together to fight evil, whatever it is, without giving away the movie for those who, for whatever reason, haven't seen it. But yes, man, it's an opportunity to talk about what's really missing. Family's really the problem in our community, man. I was watching those kids, for example, the kids in Parkland, Florida, and did you see how well spoken these young people are?
Yes.
And I was like, that's family. That's family right there. When I look at you, I'm seeing your family. When I look at George, when we look at each other, we're seeing the impact or the lack of an impact of our families.
Well, it's called a legacy, right? It's so what
That's
you
why I
leave
call my
behind,
first
you know?
company Legacy. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Yeah, it's about that. It's about us helping build our children to be strong, to be self-sufficient, to be able to speak for themselves, as well as knowing what's a healthy, loving relationship.
And family just is not focused on enough, man. I think that we can get caught up sometimes, and myself included, in being independent and doing our own thing. But, man, we don't get back to family, regardless of how unconventional it is, Dominique, we're going to lose. We're going to lose, man.
Yeah, the family has been our foundation since way back, and we can continue to build that foundation.
Mike Bazin, what's going on, Murph? Man, thanks for hanging in there with me.
What's going on, y'all?
Talk to me, man, about being happily married, and is being married cool?
Being married is definitely my greatest accomplishment. I'm 29. I met my wife at college. I went to an HBCU, and man, matter of fact, shout out to my brothers at East BCU. You know what I mean? Been to college, Omega South Phi, but yeah, I mean, when I got my wife, man, she completely slowed me down. She completely got me, on the right track. Not messing around with a bunch of women. We got a beautiful daughter. And we young. A lot of people told us, you shouldn't be getting married at such a young age. But when you get married at a young age and you keep fighting for your marriage, you get to grow together. So you learn each other better than, a lot of people say you should wait till you get older. But, I mean, I was 25, she was 23, and we grew. I'm 29 now, and we grew together. And our marriage and our love is ridiculous. We love each other more and more each day. We keep building each day. We looking to strive and be great, and being married to me is like the biggest accomplishment of my life, and I've done a lot of great things, and this is just like the best thing I've ever had to do in my life.
Hey, Murph,
That's awesome.
I respect that. It's so funny because that can be an entire show topic is young marriage. I agree with you. I think that sometimes being married older can be even more difficult because you get set in your ways of doing things. So
right.
Salute to you and all the other young couples out there. Continue to call into the phone line. Mad love to you, Murph. Shout your wife out for us real quick, man.
Linnea Stokes Murph, man, I love you, baby, man. Keep it up, and we're going to keep driving to the greatness.
Woo!
I love it.
That's my dude. What do you say, Craig, about this?
Well, I mean, my main thing, I know you talked about the young folks. I didn't get married till I was in my 40s. And was blessed, met my wife at HBCU Homecoming, Tuskegee University. And I think that the main thing that we looked at, the tough times. Be thankful for the tough times. People choose to use tough times as a finish line to marriage, but as with any finish line, you can run to that finish line or you can run through that finish line. So we took the opportunity, through our tough times, lost my grandmother and lost the jobs and things of that nature. Had a strong black woman there to support me, but rather than running to that finish line and seeing that tough patch as a means of stopping, we pushed through it. And, we happily married for a year and a half, brought a baby girl into this world about 10 months ago. Nice. So once again, don't run to a finish line, run through it. And if you just, make that decision that that's what you're going to do, make sure that you see it through. Tough times are going to come, but, a strong black woman will definitely support you and get you through those tough times.
It's important, Greg, for us to have more examples of successful marriages in our community overall, but certainly in the black community. We need more successful marriages, and we need our young people to see that marriage is cool. So I'm going to ask you this. Is being married cool, Craig?
Being married is very cool. I mean, it puts things in a better perspective for you and allows you not to be selfish. A person that is committed to a marriage realizes they're not living just for themselves, but they're living for that other person as well.
What's going on, Trinidad? How you doing?
Everything good in Orlando. Michael Basin, I love your show. Been following you for years, man. This is real love. And talking about love in a black man and a black woman, I love this show.
Why do you think that's important?
Well, you know what? It's important because, for so long, the black family has been destroyed by the media, by other folks, and telling us what's good and what not. Black love is good. Black love is powerful. I've been married to my wife 30 years. I call her my most precious. Her name is Sheila, and we have the world going on.
Wow. 30 years, dude.
Congratulations. I love that.
Yeah,
what have you learned, man?
Well, we celebrated our 30th anniversary August 10th of this last year. So I'm in for the long haul. It's not easy being married, but it's worth it.
Trinidad, what would you give advice to couples out there that are trying to get to those years that you have right now?
You know what? I learned a long time. You got to be able to understand. You got to be able to listen. And sometimes you got to learn how to be quiet. That's both the man and the woman. Now, I am the man in my house, and I do control things, I believe. But, my wife would tell me, she said, yeah, but I'm the one because I call her my most precious. I love my wife.
There you go. And so you should have saw Tanisha's face when you said control. She was like, hold on now. See what you understand.
Yeah. You know what? That's what I'm saying. I like saying I'm in control, but you know the real deal, man.
That's why you didn't finish the sentence.
That's why you didn't. Hey, baby, what you think?
Trinidad, thanks for keeping it real for us, man, and thank you for calling in to show love. You want to shout your wife out real quick?
Yeah, I would say, Sheila, you my most precious. I love you. From Orlando, Florida. I married this woman 30-something. I met her 32 years ago and married her 30 years ago. The love of my life, I call her my most precious, my love.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, man, thank you so much for calling in, man. Keep this love going. I told you all we needed to do this, man, because we can't wait for Valentine's Day, just like we're not going to wait for Mother's Day and Father's Day. I got a whole bunch of stuff I want to be doing in terms of showing love for all of you, man, regardless. We don't have to wait for these holidays to show love for each other.
Let me just tell you, my heart is full right now. We are talking about black love, black marriage. We have Selena on the line. Dominique and Michael, you guys were talking about how this is inspiring you to be married.
We are.
Selena, do you have anything that you can share to them about why marriage is such a beautiful thing?
To inspire us more.
Yes, indeed.
It is. I'm a newlywed, actually. My husband and I have been married for about 6 or 7 months now. And he is amazing. I'll be like, hey, babe, he calls me the apple of his eye, fruit of his loin is what he says to me. And it's the same thing for me. I lift him up every day. And it's just about, for a black family, you have to know that you're supporting each other. I'll hold him up. He holds me up. We have a son on the way. And it's just all about being positive. And I think that's a lot of things that you see in the media is that, men talking down to women, women talking down to men. And I'm just used to old school. You know what I mean? You lift him up, she lifts you up. And that's how you get to where you need to be.
Hey, Selena, everybody in the studio has a hand up because we try to respect each other, not step on each other. Everybody wants to talk.
Let me
Go
say
ahead,
this.
George. Go ahead,
I
George.
do agree exactly with what she's saying is that our society got so accustomed to us downing each other and being okay with us calling each other names and out of our names that we lost sight of the most precious thing that we have, and that's the mate that's going through this journey with you. So I'm glad we're getting back to this type of love.
It is, and Selena, let me say this to you, and I'll hand it back to you after Dominique gets in on this for a hot second. I don't want to be married right now, and I know that, but man, I got to tell you, listening to you all stories, Dominique, it is inspiring, isn't it?
It's very inspiring, and it's about inspiring to love, whether it's family, marriage, or just your friends around you. But Selena, how did you know that he was the one, and how did you affirm that to go all the way and get married?
It's funny because at the beginning of our relationship, we were just two people at the same age that wanted the same thing. We were tired of the same drama. We were tired of going through the same exact things in other relationships. And that's just pretty much how we knew. I always knew I wanted to be married. I always knew that I wanted to, be there for the king of my household because that's how I was raised. And so it's different for me when I hear women, well, I'm not cooking and I'm not doing this. Well, that's the problem. What happened when your grandmother used to cook all the time and she raised your grandfather up? And I just always knew at a young age that I wanted to be that woman.
Selena,
so that's how we knew.
Just thank you so much for that energy, man. This is so much passion you're hearing from these married people, man. Regardless if you want to be married or not, you got to respect and be inspired by their love for each other. Selena, thank you so much for calling to the show to celebrate marriage on the Michael Baisden Show.
You starting to worry me, dude.
Bye, Selena.
Can I be a bridesmaid?
Every day should be a celebration on this show of something. I just felt it was time. I did not want to wait for Valentine's Day and marriage anniversaries. Let's just talk about love sometimes. Let's talk about being together. Let's talk about holding each other down just whenever we feel like it, because that's something that you can never do too much of. George made a very good point. We've gotten to the point where it's constant negative talk about each other, particularly black women. I'm just going to be straight up. There's so much negative talk about my sisters. I had to stop it because we're not moving the ball forward. We're not making relationships healthier by doing nothing, George, but complaining. We need each other, man.
Man, are you kidding me, man? It's been nothing but in the last few years, people talking about my king and my queen. But for a long time, we were just totally disrespectful in how we speak to each other, the names we called each other, and it seems like society was accepting of that. That's why this movie has been so powerful as well, Black Panther, because it's exploiting and breaking that down and bringing the real love back to our community.
And let's think about all the negative things we say about marriage, the jokes that we make. It's like the ball and chain. We're constantly doing that. And my question to KL, despite all the negativity that's out there, what made you want to still get married, KL?
Because I was tired of the games. I was tired of the back and forth. I was ready to find my queen and just settle down and live life and be full of love.
You know, when you say settle down, I think sometimes even that expression alone turns people off. Now it's like, I quit, I give up.
My life is over. No, it's settling down into some wonderful stuff, and maybe the nonsense is being removed from your life.
Go ahead, KL.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, that is correct. So like I said, man, lost.
Man, that marriage is something else, isn't it?
Hey, KL,
You forget how to think for yourself when you get married. You've been married a long time, ain't you, bro? The memory is the first thing to go, bro.
Oh, my God. Wait a minute. Are we trying to promote marriage here or not, man? KL, are you okay, my brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm okay.
All right, you hold on, man. You hold on. Let me handle this one. Marriage is good.
Yes.
Lieutenant Colonel Albert, who's been holding on forever. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, Michael Baisden? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, man. Save me from these marriage haters in the studio.
Man, Michael, I'm going to tell you how it really is, Michael. I'm in the military, right? I've been in the military for over 33 years in the military. I'm a lieutenant colonel. My wife is my guardian angel. She's everything I always wanted in life. I met this lady. We've been married for over 22 years. 22 years. Wow. I say we've been separated for 12 years. Well, I mean, separated being in the military.
Right.
I'm not at home. I'm on the road. She upheld that house for me while I was gone. Took care of my kids. My kids now have a 20-year-old in college. I have a 26-year-old graduated from a cooking school, Cordon Bleu. I have a 27-year-old son. My wife has been the perfect woman. She is truly a gift from God. It's what it says, the deaf do his part, deaf do his part.
I heard that.
I would never leave that woman at all.
George, you
going to see Black Panther, when I saw the movie Black Panther, I looked at that Black Panther, I said, hold on a second. If you look in the Bible, they talk about Ephesians, husbands, love your wives, as Christ loved the church, and women, submit yourself to your husband. Submit doesn't mean that you're supposed to dog him out or say, hey, you're going to do what I say do.
That's right.
That's not what submit means. A submission to me means that wife going to be a backbone. She's going to be there for you when you be at work and you're mad, you come home. She make you smile.
How about
when
that?
When somebody piss you off at work, you come home, she make you smile. When you want to be the disciplinary in your household, she sort of calms it down.
Calms it down.
Gives you a balance. My wife is my friend. She's my lover. She's my everything. And when I asked for God to send somebody to me, that was the perfect thing.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, stop right there.
Yes.
It can't get any better than that. It cannot get any better than that. We're talking about celebrating marriage on the Michael Baisden Show. Great job, Lieutenant Colonel Albert. Chico's on. We're talking about celebrating marriage, Chico. Talk to me.
Hey, man, what's going on, Mike?
It's all good, man.
Hey, first thing I want to say, man, I love your show, man. You give me to work, man, every day, man. This doggone Atlanta traffic, man. This Atlanta traffic is crazy.
So what's up with the marriage, man? Talk to me.
Hey, man, you know what, man? I can honestly say when I first met my wife, man, my girlfriend at the time, I was 19, man, and when I was out there running the streets, I never thought, man, that I'd ever get married, man. But I happened to find this one, man, and, I can honestly say, she been with me, man, through the ups and downs, man, thick and thin, man, and, I love that woman, man. Let me see, May 9th will be 20 years for us, man, and hey, I'm going to tell you what, man, hey, it's been a blessing, man. She's been, she's my girl, man. I can't say nothing, we're going to have your good and bad. You're going to have your good and bad through the marriage, man. This and that. But you know what, man, I think every man, regardless of what you don't want to hear no woman, man, what you call with the mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'll just keep it like that. You don't want to hear the mouth. But I think it's necessary, man, sometimes, man, to keep us men going on the right track. Because without her, for real, man, without my woman in my life, man, you know what, man, Lord knows I'll probably be out there, man, in the streets, man.
About that.
I gotta, man. So
some people
I
say
love my woman, man. And
hold on. Let Dominique
go ahead.
speak. Go ahead,
I was
Dominique.
just going to ask you, some people say once a player, always a player. You say you were out there on the streets. What made you want to, get into that one woman, one man situation?
Because to be honest with you, man, she's like I said, she's been there with me, man, up and down. I mean, I don't mean to call you no man, but she's been there up and down.
All good.
You didn't call all us a man, including your wife.
Yeah, she is my friend. But with that being said, when you find that one, you know it. And like I say, I cannot. Like I say, man, my life is a different. I'm a different person, man, with my wife in my life.
Chico,
and I love her to death.
Chico, let me grab some more calls, man. Thank you very much.
Chico.
And thanks for calling, man. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Y'all take it easy, man.
Hey, man, you too, man.
Later,
Hey,
Chico.
man.
Oh,
Later
man.
on, man.
Hey, Prince, talk to me about being married.
What's up, Mike?
It's all good.
Man, I've been married going on 12 years, man. I have 3 beautiful boys. And my wife is everything for me, man. And I love her so much. And it's about sacrifice a lot. And my wife's a stay-at-home mom. And, sometimes you don't see many black stay-at-home moms.
True.
And that was a big adjustment for us, man, because I had to realize the sacrifice she made. She has a college degree.
That's
she had
right.
worked since she was 15 or 16.
Don't
It was
sleep.
a sacrifice for her of sacrificing her dreams and desires to be able to stay at home and raise our boys, man.
That's right.
And allow me to pursue, climbing the corporate ladder, whatever, man. So having that backbone, man, is everything for me. And seeing Black Panther with her and my boys, as the head, I'm not only supposed to be the covering over my family, but being able to speak life into my boys.
That's right.
And having a woman behind them, and my boys seeing me love their mother unconditionally,
right.
so that they understand how to treat their wives when the Lord blesses them. Like I say, I love her for loving me because I know we're not the Huxtables. We got ups and downs, but I love her for loving me. I love her for growing with me. I love her for being an amazing wife, an awesome mother, and making every single day a dream come true, man.
Oh, I hear appreciation, and that's what's important. He appreciates her sacrifice.
Why were you doing
and
all
honors,
that moving?
Because for a man to say that she's put her dreams on hold because she loves the family, she helps keep them together, and it's a beautiful thing. And thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much for calling in with that, man.
Thanks, family, for listening to the Michael Baisden Show podcast, sponsored by VideoPitch.com. Go to VideoPitch.com now and be a part of our growing community of writers, video producers, and filmmakers, and get paid to share your business, opinion, and talent with the world. That's VideoPitch.com. Write it down, family. Write it down. VideoPitch.com.